The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King the Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light. Jumping up, Dolly Vision's dreaming real. True crime scene blast feels so unreal. YouTube madness like share, subscribe. Jack's on fire, burning the world's fire. Where's the baby? Missing shadows crawl. People whisper footsteps down the hall. Fingerprints of the dead, cold as stone. He's got the scoop, best around town known. Dolly Vision headlines, King the Beat. Truth unravels, crackling through the heat. Lost soul shouting, echoes in the night. Rock the truth while live on air light.
What up, YouTube? Dolly back in the house again tonight. Late night Dolly Vision, baby. That is right. But first, of course, I need you guys to leave your DNA all over that like button just in case you go missing on the bridge somewhere in Delphi. Okay. You never know, the bridge guy could get you. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that tonight. So make sure you leave your DNA. And if you're brand new here, sub up, ring that bell for notifications. And of course, feel free to share my ugly face on any social media platform you choose. Okay, y'all can see in the title, Sebastian Rogers, big red flags. We're going to be talking about those big red flags tonight. And as you can see, I misspelled Delphi. I will fix that on the replay. So time your replay gang watches it, it will be spelled correctly. Okay, I must have just typo, it happens. Delphi, new clues, Jen Soto, and all her lies, and a lot more. We're going to keep it open discussion, true crime tonight. How is everyone in the chat room doing? There's almost 300 of you here on the East Coast. It is 2 a.m. almost, right? So most of you guys should be in bed, but you ain't. So don't worry. Dolly's here to entertain your brains for a couple hours. Okay. So we're going to jump in right off the bat into the Delphi murders. You know, I did a lot of coverage of the Delphi murders when, you know, right before, well, when Richard Allen was charged with the murders of Abby and Libby. Okay. This happened years ago. And, you know, before I was a true crime channel, I didn't follow every true crime case. Okay. I watched a lot of true crime, but I didn't really watch it on YouTube. I didn't really know. I was doing other things on YouTube and just, I don't know, just overlooked true crime. But one of the cases that I very first started following like heavily was the Delphi murders. Okay. Before I was even a YouTuber, I had seen the case on TV and I got really interested in the case. So when I did finally, you know, get on the internet, I would look up stuff on the Delphi murders, what news was going on. And, you know, I was following, you know, the whole Anthony Schatz situation where Anthony Schatz contacted Abby and Libby. and kind of catfished them out to the bridge in Delphi. Okay. So even in all that, the curiosity has always been, who is the bridge guy? Okay. The bridge guy, the bridge guy, the bridge guy. We heard about that for years. And all we really seen of him was basically a Bigfoot video, a blurry image of the I was about to call him the Bigfoot guy, of the bridge guy. Okay. Just a blurry image. Taken by the girls on the train trestle that day. And, when Richard Allen was arrested, it kind of blew my mind because I already had my mind set that the person responsible for the killing of Abby and Libby had to be the person that got them to come out to the train trestle, the person that catfished them, the person that was talking to them on the internet, and the person they were supposed to meet out there at the train trestle, which would have been the catfish named Anthony Schatz. We later come to find out that Anthony Schatz was a man by the name of Keegan Klein. Okay, Keegan Klein, big, fat, nasty ass dude that's a waste of space, to be totally honest with you. He had been arrested on like 600 counts of child P. Y'all know the word I'm talking about, right? 600 counts of child P. He got 30 some years in prison for this stuff he had on his computer. And at the time, he was living with his father. Now, Keegan was Anthony Schatz. Okay, the person that catfished and was talking to Abby and Libby. Okay, we all confident that the person that made these accounts was Keegan Klein. Now we get into a situation where some people believe Ron Logan is responsible, the property owner where the girls were found. We'll touch on that in just a second. So, my whole thing was Keegan Klein was responsible. So basically, the Indiana State Police came out and said, look, guys, we got this almost wrapped up. We just need a little more time. And I was thinking, okay, they're going to arrest Keegan Klein and charge him with the murder. But at the time, Keegan was already incarcerated on the child P charges. Now, there's a podcast out there. It's called Murder Sheets. Maybe some of you guys have heard of it. But Murder Sheets was going through a bunch of the documents, and they actually found the transcripts of where they interviewed Keegan, and he admitted to being Anthony Schatz and had been speaking with the girl. Now, he would say things, and then he would recant what he was saying, but he was the one that led the girls there. From what I truly, truly believe this. Now, when they arrested Richard Allen, I was like, what the hell? Okay, what the hell did they arrest this guy for? A lot of people believed it was Ron Logan. Ron Logan had a really bad alibi that day, that he was at a fish store, and Ron Logan's former girlfriend came out and said the voice on the bridge guy video was Ron Logan. Okay, it was Ron Logan that you're hearing. And that he had hit her in the head with a wrench or something, some domestic situation she had been involved with, and said that this man was pretty much a psycho, and she believed he was responsible for the deaths of Abby and Libby. Also, Ron Logan apparently, allegedly, confessed to a former cellmate of his that he cut the throats of Abby and Libby. A little bit of a trigger warning. So, when Richard Allen went to court, one YouTuber up here, Dolly, okay, was screaming the whole time that Richard Allen is being railroaded and framed for the murder of Abby and Libby. Okay, I just knew he was innocent. This man didn't do shit, right? But he's crazy. Okay, so we have a man that has mental illness problems, and he confessed to murdering Abby and Libby. Now I know what you're thinking, Dolly. The man confessed he did it. He confessed to shooting the girls. He didn't even know how the girls were murdered, but you know who did? Ron Logan did. You know who else led them there? Would have been Keegan Klein. Now, it just seems so bizarre that one person that's a sicko that's in the child P led these two girls to a remote location and just somebody else happened to be there. It was like a killer. This is like Michael Myers on Halloween telling you to go out in the woods, and when you get out in the woods, Freddy Krueger kills you. Okay, not even Jason Voorhees. Freddy's out there waiting for you. It's like it's a mixture of things like that. If you took Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and Freddy Krueger and you put them on a bridge in Indiana, this is what we get in the Delphi murders, right? It makes hellaciously no sense whatsoever. And then all the things that were going on during the trial with the judge and, you know, her firing lawyers and the Odinism, and that the murder scene looked like a ritual type setting. The bodies were staged. I was just like, okay, this guy is crazy. He would confess to shooting Kennedy. Okay, did you shoot John F. Kennedy? Yeah, I shot John F. Kennedy. You know, he might not even been alive when John F. Kennedy got shot. I just knew he was confessing anything. The dude was in there, you know, defecating, using the bathroom, and eating it. And, you know, they're trying to say that he's not crazy. Well, let me tell you this. Anybody that can eat some doo-doo is absolutely crazy. Okay, there ain't no way around that. The dude he is gone. So unlike a lot of criminals, you know, usually when you get arrested for a crime, they put you in jail. Okay, they put you in jail. They put this man in prison. And not only did they put him in prison, but they put him in solitary for months and months at a time. A man with mental illness, which was making him go crazier. It basically, they violated his constitutional rights, Richard Allen's constitutional rights. And I know what you're thinking, Dolly. If he's a killer, he ain't got no rights. And you know what? You absolutely right. If he is a killer, he has no rights. Hell with that dude. Who cares what they do to him? But the problem is there's too many signs that point to this man is not the person that's responsible for the murder of Abby and Libby. And I knew they were going to convict him because the fact is this: if they hadn't convicted him, he would have had one of the biggest lawsuits against the state of Indiana in the history of the damn world. Okay, for wrongful imprisonment, abuse, violations of constitutional rights. So I knew they were going to make sure he was found guilty. And there was nothing, no physical evidence, no DNA, no eyewitnesses, nothing that linked Richard Allen to the murders of Abby and Libby. Now, listen, I wanted the culprit caught. I wanted Keegan to pay. Ron Logan, he's no longer with us. So if he did do something, karma got his ass. Okay. Karma got Ron Logan. He's gone. He's no longer with us. But Keegan is. And I still truly to this day believe that Keegan is responsible. Now, some people are trying to make connections to Keegan and Ron Logan, that they were acquaintances, and that would make sense that Keegan led them there, Ron Logan killed him, you know, or these people are involved in some type of black web, dark web, child P ring, and a lot of people, more people are in on it than just Keegan Klein. And a lot of people don't understand this. Keegan Klein, when he was portraying himself as Anthony Schatz, he didn't just talk to Abby and Libby. He was actually talking to one of Abby and Libby's friends also. So after the murder of Abby and Libby, this young lady gets on the internet and she's talking to Anthony Schatz. And Anthony Schatz tells her that the Abby and Libby never showed up to meet him. Right? And he didn't know where they were at because at this point they were missing. And this girl goes to school, and the next day when she goes to get off the school bus, there's a man at her bedroom window with a ski mask on, and she's getting off the bus, sees him, and runs. Okay, so Anthony Schatz was creeping on another little girl, also other than Abby and Libby, which was one of their friends, right? Who the hell was that? Who the hell was that, right? We got the bridge guy. We got this guy at this little girl's house. So today, a 43-second video came out more of the bridge guy. Okay, the guy that was on the bridge in Delphi, Indiana, and I believe it was posted on video release Richard Allen's Innocence website. Okay, so there's people out here like me that truly believe that Richard Allen is innocent. You know, he told his wife that he would say whatever it took for them to leave his family alone. Like if they kept bothering him, he was just going to confess to it, even though he didn't do it because he's not mentally sound to realize, hey, they're going to put me in prison forever over this. You know, I don't think he quite understands. Especially, I don't know. There's a lot of people with mental health problems in this country, but I want to pull up this video for you guys real fast. Let me share the screen with you. All right, let's do it.
Breaking news in the Delphi murders case. New cell phone video of Bridge Guy is released online. It's the first time we're seeing the video that shows Abby Williams and Libby German's final moments alive. Thank you for joining us. I'm
Trigger
Chelsea
warning,
Helms.
this is sad.
As you know, Abby and Libby were found dead near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi back in February 2017. This is Richard Allen, the guy who prosecutors argued was Bridge Guy. A jury found him guilty in their deaths late last year. He is currently serving a 130-year sentence. Just yesterday, Allen's attorneys filed a new appeal in his conviction. Here's CBS 4's Scarlett O'Hara, who breaks down that new video for us tonight.
In a 43-second cell phone video taken from Libby German's phone, you see both Abby Williams and Libby walking on the Monon High Bridge in Delphi in February 2017. We're about to play that video in its entirety, a first for anyone who was not in the courtroom for the trial of suspected killer Richard Allen. A warning, this may be difficult for some to watch.
See, this is the path that we go down. There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
We've seen clips of this video before. Police released images of Bridge Guy and his voice saying down the hill. All images that have previously been released to the public have been taken from this video. In the first few seconds, you can see Abby walking behind Libby and Bridge Guy following close behind. You also hear Libby talking to Abby.
See, this is the path that we go down.
A few seconds later, she says this.
There's no path going there, so we have to go down here.
Then 11 seconds later, you hear Bridge Guy say. The video ends 2 seconds later. The lead.
Okay, like I said, you know, Ron Logan's former girlfriend came out and said she believes that is the voice of Ron Logan. And my biggest thing on this is them little girls should have never been at that train trestle. Okay, who the hell takes their kid and leaves them in such a dangerous place? Now, I know her sister brought them out there. They begged to go out there. But, and I understand people hike that area, would walk around that area, but I just do not see leaving two little girls in the woods on a dangerous train trestle that they could fall off of or get hurt and just be out there by themselves. You know, this could have been avoided. You know, good parenting would have, you know, I don't want to blame the parents, but what the hell would you let your kid go to this place for? Even if it was my little brother, little sister or something like that, and you took them out there, I wouldn't leave them out there unattended in the woods. Okay. Has nobody ever seen a Friday the 13th movie or nothing? I mean, it's just insane. It's insane. Like, you know, and then they're like, oh, what happened to them? They didn't come home. You dropped them off in the woods where killers hang out. Okay, like that is insane. That's how every horror movie starts, right? And you know, guys, I'm a huge horror movie fan. This is the beginning of a horror movie. I mean, you know, most horror movies are called your car breaks down, okay, in the middle of the woods somewhere. You get out, you go look for help, right? And then you get chopped up into little pieces. It's just like you fed these kids to the wolves, right? Wolves live in the woods, okay? This is where the wolves live. Like, there's so many ways to get hurt in the woods, and wildlife and snakes and killers. Oh my.
Investigator did testify in the trial that he watched this video hundreds of times and believed one of the girls mentioned a gun, though his comment was stricken from the court record. This all comes a day after attorneys representing Richard Allen filed a brand new appeal. I've reached out to those attorneys, and one told me in a brief statement, quote, "The fact that the video was posted on a website has nothing to do with the pending appeal or the fairness of the trial at the heart of the appeal." In the newsroom, Scarlett O'Hara, CBS 4 News.
I would be scared my kid would fall off that bridge. Okay. Now, before we get into a bunch of other stuff tonight, I'm going to go ahead, open up the phone line, and I want to hear from you guys tonight. Do you think Richard Allen is the killer of Abby and Libby? Okay, give me 1 second and I'll get the phone line number pulled up. All right, if I can find it. Here we go. Would you leave your kids out there, or your brother or younger sister? Because it was an older sister that had took them out there to the bridge. I mean, like I said, I understand people go to it and walk around, but there's little kids should not be on that bridge whatsoever. That is, to me, is just like, you're just asking for something bad to happen. Now, I'm sure everybody didn't think nothing bad would happen. And from my understanding, them girls had been out there a few times. Then what wasn't their first time going out to this bridge. I mean, I could see if they went to a park or hung out at the school or went to the mall like a normal kid. But these kids basically were hanging out in the woods. I don't know. It's beyond me. It boggles my brain. Okay, no, it wasn't him. I always wondered why these two girls were allowed to be such a dangerous place. I wouldn't go to that place. Yeah, right? Dolly. What up, Doug?
Man, you don't leave, like you said, you don't leave little kids like that out in the woods.
Hell no, you don't.
12 or 13-year-old.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. When I heard it, I was like, why were they even out there? And then, of course, you know, they were catfished out there. I was kind of like, come on, man.
Come on, man.
You know?
I believe there's more people involved than just him. It ain't Richard Allen either.
Yeah, I don't think it's Richard Allen. I believe it's connected to Keegan Klein somehow, his fat, nasty tail. And he's the one that got them girls out there. And whoever killed these girls is connected to him somehow. Or it's him and his daddy. Is what I've always believed. Him and his daddy. I believe his daddy's just as creepy as he is.
And that old man too.
Oh, what? Ron Logan? They may all know each other.
They met at Logan's house and they took the little girls in there and done satanic things with them.
You think they did satanic things with them? When I see the people, I don't get a real big satanic vibe, but you never know.
You never know, but
I mean,
you don't let little. That'd be like taking them up there in New York City and dropping them out.
Well, my daughter's in New York right now, so you know what I'm saying.
But she ain't 12 or 13-year-old.
Nah, she's 25. What they need to do is take Keegan Klein with all his child pee and just a few times upside the face. You know what I'm saying? It's just knock him out until he confesses. Yep. They need to let me do the interrogations.
Well, I think they've got two of them wrong, and neither one of them done it. I don't believe Richard Allen done it. I don't believe Kohlberger done it.
You are fake news.
Kohlberger ain't no ninja.
I think Kohlberger done it. I think Kohlberger done it.
There ain't no way the man done it and walked out of that house on no trail leading nowhere. No.
I mean, we got to remember though, he was a criminology student, and he had, he was working on his master's.
He ain't that good. He's not that good. There's no blood trail leaving out of that house. He had no blood in his car, no blood in his apartment. So there's no way he done. He's not no ninja. And
his DNA
was
no magic. His DNA was there though, Doug. His DNA was right there in the crime scene of Idaho 4. Now listen, did you see the text messages that Dylan and Bethany were sending between each other?
You got that right.
Oh my God, that is so bad that they were awake and did nothing to save their friends. That is. And Abby and Libby, what I can't understand is, the bridge guy had to have a gun, because if not, one of them kids would have ran.
But there were more people there than just the bridge guy.
Some people believe there was somebody down the hill already, but that's why he went down the hill. But he walked them about a mile down away from there before he did anything. So. And then, he drained the blood of the one little girl and took her clothes off and put them on the other little girl.
Yeah.
So
you think that old man with his limping leg could catch them two little kids? They could have outrun that old man and never even thought about it. There was more people down there waiting on them. That's why they didn't run.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't have been able to keep up with his gimpy leg.
Yeah, well, like Bogey just said in the chat room, Libby said that'd be a gun. That they thought kids had said something about a gun. So maybe he did. That's why they didn't run. You run, you're gonna get shot. And I mean, what would make somebody do something like that anyway? Like, I can understand you use a perv and you assault the kids, right? But why kill them? Just because they can identify you, maybe?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Identify them.
I mean, that is so horrible for, just in the wrong place at the wrong time. If that ain't connected to Keegan and Logan.
Them girls they was at the right place at the right time. That's
Yeah.
where they were that's where they were supposed to be. And that's why it happened.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that too, that there were catfish and lead out there. I just don't know how Richard Allen ties into any of it.
I don't believe he had nothing to do with it.
Okay, all right.
That dude is flipped out, man, and if he gets out of it, he ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah. All right, Doug. Well, you be good. You stay safe, brother.
Peace out. Later.
All right, peace. Dolly. Yeah.
Hey, I think there was some kind of this is George down here in Houston.
What's up, George?
I think there was some kind of a satanic ritual thing going on there.
Do you? What makes you think it was some satanic ritual? The way the bodies are posed?
Yeah. I've been following this kind of stuff for quite a long time because I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist. You know what I mean?
Hold on. I just lost audio. Okay, I can hear you.
Well, I'm just saying, I've kind of been getting into some of this conspiracy stuff, for a long time. And I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'm pretty this stuff is real.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I know satanic cults are real. I just don't know if there's one involved in this. I think this has more to do with an underground, dark web child sex ring.
Well, that's part of it. That's just part of it. That's just one leg of it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying they're hell and Satan while they're doing it, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. If you're going to do something so evil to hurt kids and kill kids, you might as well be a Satanist.
But I'm not gonna just sling out the J's right in there.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
The J's. What the hell's the J's?
The JEWs.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that has to do with anything with satanicness and cults, but
with the Talmud.
I don't know, but keep going. Keep going. You've been going down to conspiracy rabbit holes there, George.
I've been deep in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't want to come across as some kind of anti-Semite because I'm not an anti-Semite.
So you think this has something to do with just cult behavior? These people are grouped together and all of them are responsible. What about Richard Allen? You think he's innocent or guilty?
I think this has been happening for hundreds of years. I think this is why a bunch of people have been run out of European countries for hundreds of years, is because they've been doing this kind of practice for hundreds of years. You think
it has something to do with the Odinism?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's a different thing. I see myself. I didn't think it. I think whoever did it had to be a hunter because of how.
Well, I think it has to do with child sacrifice.
Yeah, but why would you just? I mean, I don't know. I ain't into that evil stuff, so I don't know why any person would do something like that. You know,
child sacrifice stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you go back to child sacrifice stuff, you go all the way back to the Old Testament when Abraham was asked by God to take his son up onto the hill and kill him and burn him up. The child sacrifice stuff. These people used to sacrifice their children to Baal.
Yeah, I hope. I don't think that's the case though. I honestly don't. I just think it's a sicko that was into kids and, you know, like Keegan Klein, and he was collecting child pee, you know, on his computer, and he catfished them girls there to do bad things to him because he's nasty and couldn't get a woman. I mean, have you ever seen the guy?
Yeah, I've seen the whole story on, I think it was on Court TV. I saw the whole story, but the thing is these children were sacrificed.
Well, some people believe that. Some people believe that it did have signs of a ritual or something like that because of the way they were posed. But me, myself, I don't know. I've seen a lot of satanic stuff, and, you know, I used to listen to a lot of satanic, you know, bands. Not that I'm into, you know, a Satanist or anything, but I just listen to heavy metal music, and I've seen some pretty crazy things, but to me, it didn't resemble nothing that seemed satanic. There wasn't no pentagrams, and there wasn't no candles. There was none of this. There was none of this stuff. It was just sticks laid on their body. So, but some people say that they were posed in a position like, what are the tarot cards?
I don't know. Odinism.
I mean, I don't know. That's the people in the jail apparently were wearing the Odinism patches and stuff. But all right, George, you be good. I'll talk to you next time.
All right.
All right. Peace. Yeah, now I don't know if it was really a cult. You know, a lot of people are accusing that. That's one of Richard Allen's defenses was, you know, it had something to do with the occult. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
This is Doug. Doug, boy.
Hey, Doug, boy.
I'm just fucking with you, man. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm good. Who's this?
Oh, my name's Kyle. I'm just calling from Middle Illinois.
Oh, what's going on, Kyle?
Oh, another day, another dollar. No, yeah, Coburger most likely did it. I mean, I don't know. All of it leads back to him. Richard Allen. I mean, to be honest, the way he's acting, he's not making his case look any better.
I agree with that. If he hadn't confessed to something he didn't do, in the beginning he said he didn't do it, and then slowly later he confessed, but didn't know how the girls were killed, and he said that the girls were shot, and then they brought in court like documents and gave them to him and left in his cell that explained how the girls were killed. They were giving him clues to how the girls died so he could confess to it.
It was almost like they were kind of like setting him up. But yeah, I mean, really though, if he wouldn't have went in there and lost what 80 pounds, whatever, and this and that, and looked all squirrely, he would have been fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just kept his mouth shut. Nobody really would have thought much different. But
do you think he purposely lost that weight so he wouldn't look like a big guy on the bridge?
I think he lost weight just to try to get out of jail or prison or whatever and go into like a institution at, you know, best case scenario, because I mean, you know, he's definitely crazy. He's over here starving himself, this and that.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's numerous reasons, but
he was eating his court papers and stuff. He was eating court papers. He was using the bathroom and smearing it on the walls and his cell. He was.
Well, I mean, he was just low on fiber.
I mean, I don't know what the hell he was low on brains. Apparently,
but yeah, I don't know. And then someone waiting down there, you know, him acting with someone else. I you know.
And why
are you going to run if someone has a gun on you?
Yeah, you shoot me in the back.
Yeah, well, but you know, well, okay. Let me rephrase that. Are you going to run as like, you know, as a 12-year-old kid? You know,
probably
you're
not.
going to be scared shit.
Yeah.
Shitless, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, that was my 2 cents. I didn't want to bother you too much. I just wanted to let you know that Doug does have a long lost son out there.
Okay. All right, my man. You be good. Stay safe.
Yep. Later.
All right. Peace. Now, my thing is this. If you have audio of him, why don't you have voice analysis experts compare the voices, things like that? And the caller's right. Richard Allen didn't make his case any better because he got in there and he started acting crazy. But they weren't treating him. They were treating him like he was guilty from the jump. Dolly.
Hey, it's Rita from Dexter. What you doing?
Hey, Rita. Not a whole lot. Just going over some of this Delphi stuff before I get into the Sebastian Rogers stuff.
Yeah, I'm late.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but no, I didn't know if you knew this. I didn't know if you'd heard. They found a body
in Memphis.
And they ain't identified the body yet, but
I'll tell you, like I tell everybody in the Sebastian Rogers group, there's 7 billion people on this planet, and every time somebody dies in Tennessee, it ain't Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah, well, normally I don't.
It ain't that.
Yeah, but normally I don't think that. I think like you. Normally I'm like, well, that's probably not him. I normally think that.
It's not.
With this, you know, this one here is like, it's just what they said he was wearing, which was what was really throwing me. But they're going to be able to get into that phone and probably find out, because they found a duffel bag than that phone. But it, you know, probably not. We've not had any luck with finding him, so probably not him.
He's not going to be in Memphis. If he ran away, he's not going to be in Memphis.
Unless he was taken to Memphis after something happened to him.
I don't know.
I mean, anything's possible at this point. Something happened. He's somewhere. I mean, he's got to be found.
That's a good little ways from Hendersonville.
Yeah.
You know, if anywhere he would have went to Nashville, probably a closer major city would have been Nashville, because he's only 15
I don't believe he ran away at all. Yeah, I don't believe he ran away at all.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't believe that. I believe that if they find him, when they find him, he's going to have been placed there, and they're not going to find him at the crime scene. That's what I believe. When they find him,
if they got rid of him, you may never find him. If he ran away, there's the chances that there's a possibility that he may be found.
Yeah, but I think that if he ran away, he'd already been found. That's just my opinion, you know.
I truly believe that too. If he would have ran away, they'd have definitely found him by now.
Yeah, I just, oh man, that I seen that and I popped up. I was like, well, I don't know but yeah, their body in Memphis is very, common. They find them in there all the time.
Yeah, Memphis is not the safest place to be either.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I, wanted to touch on that. But as far as the other stuff goes, I was going to talk to you. I didn't get to talk to you about the baton girl.
Oh, from last night. Yeah, the girl that was running track in Virginia Tech.
She was hitting that girl. I mean, she was flailing her arms back and forth to continue to hit that girl.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like that was one accident and her arms were about, she hit her once. She kept hitting her.
Absolutely.
Until the girl went to the ground. As she can whine all day, and it doesn't matter what angle the camera is at. She's going to jail for this.
Yeah, well,
because she did that.
In Virginia, it's malicious wounding when you use an object to strike somebody. If you would have hit her with your hand, it would have been simple assault. But since you had a weapon, it's assault with a deadly weapon. It's felony charges, and I mean that's what she gets. I mean, that is a poor sport right there. You're getting beat because that girl is faster, and you're gonna bust her upside the head with something. That is nuts,
Yeah, and the girl's got a concussion. Like she's got to live with that. She's got a concussion. That's a head injury, and that's terrible. But we didn't get a touch on that yesterday.
The world is crazy. Like everybody right now.
Oh yeah,
destroying Tesla cars and protesting and all kinds of crazy shit. The world's just crazy. There's a lot of crazy people.
Yeah. And the only reason that thing that I perked up on that thing too is because, rumor has it, word on the street with Sebastian is CP was working in Memphis. And that's that's like what everybody was talking about. But then again, until they identify the body, we're not going to know who it is. It could be another missing child.
Yeah.
We don't know. There's a lot of missing kids.
Somebody's going to get some bad news. Somebody's dead. That's for sure.
Yeah. The one thing I wanted to talk to you about before we got off here was the one I didn't know. You followed the Elizabeth Smart thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that was when we were younger. Okay, so Elizabeth Smart, and a lot of people don't even know that case, but they should, especially people in true crime, because she was alive and she was right up in the ravine. And they managed to hide her for 9 months before she was found.
Yeah.
She was taken right out of her bed. This can happen with any child.
Yeah, she's an advocate. She's an advocate.
Yeah.
Now I've seen her on America's Most Wanted. And matter of fact, Brandy Neal has a picture that she took with her. And some good news, Brandy Neal Vaughn is out of the hospital.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
She needs a liver transplant, and she's going to do some testing, I think, in a couple weeks. And but yeah, she needs a liver. She's pretty bad off.
Okay, she needs a liver.
You got an extra?
Okay. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I like that girl. She's a good mama. That's a good girl. I don't know if they'd take my liver. But I don't drink or nothing. I don't know. I don't know. They make sure before they take an organ out of you that you're healthy enough to go through surgery. And right now I'm going through a bunch of stuff because I'm trying to give Summer a kidney.
Yeah. And, Brandy, she texted me earlier this morning. Matter of fact, I was in cardiac rehab for my heart, and I got a text message from her that said thank you, and that basically that she got a long fight ahead of her, and but she's home and she's doing everything the doctors say, so I figured that was some pretty good news today.
Yeah. And bless her heart. I mean, when you need a transplant, we've been through this once.
Mm-hmm.
Summer got a kidney when she was 22, and that kidney rejected during COVID because she got sick and it killed the kidney.
Oh, wow.
And I don't want to go through that again. So I'm like, okay, this time the kidney needs to come out of me. If we don't find her a live donor, I'm talking to the hospital. And the only thing that's hurting me right now is my BMI. So they basically are going to have to put me on a crash diet if they're going to let me do it. They're testing me for sleep apnea right now. And they know I have a left side essential tremor. So I don't know if the hospital will take my kidney or let me go under, but we are going to have a meeting and I'm going to talk to them about it because she needs a live donor and they're saying she can be on the waiting list for up to 3 years.
Yeah.
And she don't have 3 years. She's on end-stage renal failure and she is on dialysis 3 days a week. And her dialysis has just extended to 4 hours a day. And it used to just be 3. So that's why I said, I mean, I hope and pray to God. So just pray for us. We're going to keep those flyers up, keep, sending that out. But when you do this T-shirt thing, Dolly, I want to get a hold of you because there's family members that want T-shirts for summer. And I told him, I was like, well, one of my YouTube creators is talking about making a business where he'll make the shirts, but you guys have to buy them because I'm going to have to pay him to do this to make sure that he gets his part of it. So I don't know when you're going to start that, but I need you to let me know.
Here soon. As soon as I get everything up and running, I'll let you know.
Yes. Well, I've already told friends and family if they want them, they're going to have to let me know. And the people on my channel got a hold of me and was like, "We want them, Rita." So I'm like, okay. So I will talk to my friend creator and see what, where we're at with that. I know that you got the soap business and stuff going on and you got a lot of things going on with you looking for these kids. And it's a good thing that you're doing that for these creators. But if you do that, I'm willing to be a part of that as well.
Okay. All right.
So I wanted you to know that. All right. But I'm going to get off here because other people do want to call in.
All right, Rita, you be good. Stay safe. We're praying for you.
All right. And before I go real quick, this is to answer somebody in the chat. Left side essential tremor. They have me on propanolol. They've got me on medication for it. And they're giving me an MRI.
We don't say the names of medicines, Rita, here.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know.
YouTube's funny about naming medicines because we're not medical professionals.
Well, that's what they do for it. I'm sorry about that.
All right.
I'm not used to that. All right. Bye, hun.
All right. Peace. All right, I'm going to shut this for 1 second. I'm going to shut the phone lines because I want to ask y'all a quick question. If you're just coming in, we got almost 800 of you here. I don't even think we're over 400 likes on this video. So that means half of you guys didn't like my ugly ass face. Okay. I can't live with that. I can't do it. I'm going to end up homeless. So what I'm going to need from you real quick, simple. If you got a little mouse in your hand, you just hover over the thumbs up button and go click up. And if you're on your phone, you just poke that bitch, right? Like you poking somebody in the eye. Bow. Okay. And then once you do that, once you like the video, and I'm looking at you, look, I see you right now talking to you. I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from. It's time to represent your city, your town, your hood. But first, make sure you like the video. And let's see if we got 380. Let's get it up to 750. All right. Now, I know there's at least 25 watching from the bushes that probably hate me. Okay. But you're watching anyway. Thank you for your views. But the rest of you, y'all should love some damn Dolly. Who else is here with you late night going over all the true crime stuff with you? Me. Okay. And all I ever ask for is $1 million and you to like the video. Okay. But just if you ain't got $1 million, just like the video. But if you got a meal, an extra meal that you can spare. I hear some moving around. I hope I ain't in trouble. Oh, okay. PJ going to the bathroom. go ahead, hit me up with it, right? All I need is $1 million. Okay, I see Ohio in the house, Canada, Gig Harbor, is that what that said? Iowa, 421, Tampa, Florida, Hartfield, California, North Carolina, OH, good to see you guys. Calgary, Canada. Where else we got? Let's see. Sup, Dolly? I see Alberta. Tickle that like button, make Dolly giggle. Tickle the like button, make Dolly. That's a new one. Indiana. Gig Harbor, San Jose. Area 305, Miami, Florida, Michigan, New Zealand, West London, UK, Detroit, Minnesota. Not me, Dolly. I love you and your face. I hit that like every time. Rhode Island. Thank you. Thank you, Brooke. Indiana, Long Island. That is cool of you guys. For all of you that don't hate my face. So anyway, we done touched in on the Delphi murders, and I fixed it in my title. Okay. So it wasn't spelled wrong. Now let's tap in on the Sebastian Rogers stuff. To me, the biggest red flag, and you heard Rita call in, and I'll open the phone lines back up in just a minute. Let me take it down for a second so people don't start calling me. Is the huge red flags in this case. You know, for days, I've just been pointing out some of those red flags that to me are super suspicious. You know, I don't want to say that Katie's story has changed, but let me do this before I get into this, because some of these people like to put people in jail and sue people. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with some comedy and a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. It's just my opinion. Everybody has one. Everybody's entitled to it. Okay. Everyone is innocent to proven guilty in a court of law. The callers tonight, their opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on the Dolly. And also the biggest one of them all, and every one of you should know this. Don't try to be Dolly at home. It's dangerous. You could die. Okay. We don't want nobody dead. I can't be responsible for dead bodies all over the country and all over the place internationally. You know what I'm saying? So don't try to be Dolly. You'll get ugly like me. You don't need it. You don't need it in your life. Okay. So huge red flags, you know, and like I was saying, Katie, when she first came out, they didn't speak very, very highly of their child. Okay. Their 15-year-old son, well, he's 16 now, but 15 at the time, autism, right? And they didn't speak too highly of him. You know, to me, that was the first big red flag. Usually, if you ask a parent about their kid, they're going to tell you the good things about their kid. They're not going to tell you, well, my kid don't clean his room. He pisses on himself. He has a problem with people's personal space. People usually don't do that. They don't do that. They usually tell you the good things. Oh, my kid's funny. He's loving. He's caring. He's outgoing. You know, he likes to have fun. He likes to play. He likes to joke and laugh. They're going to tell you the good qualities of their child. And if you don't believe me, tomorrow go test it. Ask somebody about their kids. And I guarantee they tell you good things. They ain't going to be like, well, I got the worst kid in the world. He's ugly. He dresses. He stinks. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they asked her, you know, basically, why don't you have a whole lot of pictures of Sebastian? And she said he was goofy looking. Okay, who says their kid is goofy looking? Carly, South Yorkshire, UK, and thanks for all you do. All right, man, remember, let's open up the gates. On the Blessed Express. You blessed when you ride in the Dolly Express. So grab you a seat since you've been a member for 4 months on the train, the Dolly train. All right. So it gets a little bumpy sometimes on this train, right? You may ride this bitch off the tracks, but make sure you get on the train. Keep Dolly alive. Dolly got to eat. Okay. Dolly got to eat too. You're goofy looking. Okay, your ass better go to bed, woman. And I know I'm goofy looking. That's my whole selling point. Okay, if I wasn't goofy looking, there wouldn't be 800 people in the room right now. There'd be 30. But since I'm so goofy looking, they're like, look at this weird looking bitch. Let me tune in. Okay. And loud AF. Okay, I'm gonna pipe it down. I'm gonna bring it down a notch. Okay, PJ, go your ass to bed. But anyway, I want to share this video, and this is the most recent interview they did, because see, Katie, she didn't change her story. She's changing it a little bit now. She's backpedaling, is what I like to call it. But in the beginning, she kind of just told a story, and then instead of changing the story, she added to the story. Right? First, we know she heard a thud and she didn't check on it. Then the next time she had an interview, she said, "Yeah, I heard a thud. I hollered to him. I don't know what you're doing in there, but go to bed." And he hollered back, "I love you, Mom. I love the dogs." But in her first time she told that, she didn't add all that. But once the internet started giving her hell for not checking on her kid, she went and added to the story. Not that she changed the story, she just added to it. And she continued to do that for the first few interviews, adding to the story. Now, in the newest interview that Katie and Chris have done, it's like they've seen what the internet has said. Okay, so they're trying to, I think, save face, or they're saying continue to search for Sebastian, but they're not in the eyes of the public. Maybe privately, I don't know. We're not there with them in private, but publicly, we don't see them searching. We don't see them going to the prayer vigils for their kid. We don't see them setting up prayer vigils for their kid. We don't see them doing candle lights for the child. Nothing. We don't see them fundraising for billboards. They have donated to a billboard. I know that through another channel, that they actually donated money to a billboard, but we don't see them really doing anything to try to bring Sebastian Rogers home. Now, there's so many theories out there of what has happened to this boy, from you name it, it's out there, right? The lights, Bigfoot, the green hoodie, aliens, all kinds of stuff. Chris did it. That's what a lot of YouTubers are out here pushing. That, I do believe he has some knowledge of what has happened. That's just my opinion. But I believe his alibi is able to be verified through the police, that they were able to check out that he was working in Memphis. And that, see, here's the thing, people, is Yogi Bear, the park he was staying at, has a camera when you go in and out of it. Okay. So that's easy to go get the camera footage and see if he was there. Now, Katie, I believe that 3-hour phone call was important because something transpired at that house between 7 and 9 p.m. that night when they got home. Now, is it something that could have been like KD has a short temper? That's what I'm thinking. That, it was time for Sebastian to lay it down, and maybe he wouldn't. Seth believes she gave him too much medication and he may have passed, and she did something with him, covering it up. We've seen Seth recently at that prayer vigil praying to, Samael for vengeance. I think he seeks vengeance for who he believes is responsible for his child. But the old saying, he who seeks revenge dig 2 graves, right? That's just the way it goes. He should have probably been praying to, God and Jesus to bring his son home, but he's mad, he's upset. And I can understand that, because these people in the beginning have put off red flags, and certain people have got in Steph's ear, and we've seen the way he's kind of been acting, and now Chris and Katie are trying to change it up and be like, we're these great parents that have been they make it act like they've been looking all year and they've done everything they could, but they haven't. The only reason I think they did this because it's the 1 year anniversary and they didn't want to look terrible to the public. And so they gave this interview. So let's pull this up and we're just going to go over some of it so I can point out some of what I believe is different. Okay, the Blessed Express entertaining you at work. All right, jump on. You're riding the Blessed Express. You're rocking with the best when you on the Dolly Express. Okay. Thank you, my child. Amen. Amen. All right. That is awesome of you. Thank you for your donation. Dolly gotta eat. Okay, Dolly gotta eat. But let's pull this up and let's get right into it.
Here we are. So it's an entire year after Sebastian's disappearance.
Now I'm hungry.
There's no really strong lead. There's no sighting yet. So tell me what you're feeling now. Here we are 1 year later.
I struggle to put words to how it feels, honestly. The amount of ups and downs, the amount of like possible leads that haven't panned out. We every day, you know, it's like waking up to this reality that it's actually real. And I mean, Sebastian should be home with us.
Well, if you got out there and looked when he first went missing, he may be home with you, right? But you didn't. You didn't act like any parent I've ever seen, and that's my opinion, right? Like you wasn't out there screaming from the rooftops. You wasn't putting search parties together. You wasn't holding prayer vigils. You wasn't doing anything. You was literally shopping at a motorcycle store and didn't even go to your own kid's prayer vigil. Okay. Now, Chris showed up to make threats, what I believe were threats against Seth, right? He has his eyes closed. He's over there like, God, this ain't ended yet. But you showed the public who you were. Okay. Let's just say that you showed the world who you guys were. Now you're trying to act different. And we realize that, hey, we knew you didn't care a year ago. Why are you acting like you care now? Ain't that a little late to start caring or coming out publicly and caring? You should have been begging for anybody that had your son to release him. Please, Sebastian, come home. Talking directly to him. But now you've heard everybody say that stuff. So now you start talking directly to Sebastian, but you're looking at the sky while you're doing it like he's in heaven. Like you believe this kid could be anywhere, but you packed your shit up and you left. The public's not going to forget that. Keyword acting. I know. I absolutely. It's a show. I believe it's a PR stunt. You know, oh, we're not that bad. Just like the one day they went and searched for Sebastian 10 months later. Okay. Just like they hired a private investigator that jumps on every case of every missing person that goes missing. It's just clout chasers. And, you know, the bad thing about these leeches that suck onto these people, just like SF's investigates leached on to Chris and Katie with his $20,000 deposit and $2,000 a day or whatever the hell it is. And then you got TikTok Tony leeching off of Seth. It's like, soon as these parents go through something tragic, it's like anybody that needs a hug or some attention or anything, they just leached on to these people while they're going through the worst tragedy of their life. Let's just give Katie and Chris the benefit of the doubt, which, you know, they're my number one suspects, guys. I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate. Let's say these people are innocent. All of them. Chris, Katie, Seth, because a lot of people believe Seth may have something to do with this. But believe it or not, I mean, I don't, but people come in here all the time and say, hey, where was Seth for them 3 hours? He was supposed to be sleeping in his truck. That Seth works in a jail. He knows all these criminals. Seth continues to hang around criminals. And I'm thinking, okay, well, you know, you are the company you keep. You ever heard that? Birds of the same feather flock together. There's like a million sayings for that. And I don't understand why Seth does that. Why he continuously stays around bad people. You know, I don't think it's good for, you know, look at them now. There's really nothing going on. They don't have nothing. Nothing's going on. You know, they just basically are going to let the case go cold. They're not really pushing his team. What happened to the green team? What happened to them? All right, I'm looking. Anybody seen them? Anybody seen the green team anywhere? Right? Like they just, oh well, right? That is horrible. Like nobody's putting together searches. None of these parents are out there fighting for this kid. Now, Seth was in the beginning until TikTok and Betty and what's that bounty hunter that ain't never found a kid? He got like some blonde hair and some Oakleys. Anybody know who I'm talking about? I forget his name. He used to have a TV show. What happened to that guy? What happened to kicking in doors and citizens arrest? And what happened? What remember them people that's been for the last 10 months saying they're closing in, there's going to be an arrest? I hate to say it, where's the arrest? Is this one of those cases where shit, Dolly was right again? I hate to be like, I told you so. The only, you know, listen. And the reason I don't have a whole lot of YouTube friends is because I don't bullshit. I tell it the way it is. I live in the real world and in reality. Okay. If anybody, you know, so many people were like, oh my God, the dog is on the hunt. It's over with now. Okay. Did anybody remember the Brian Laundrie stuff? He believed he was in Mexico and he's going to hunt him down. And like all these people seeking attention, or, you know, like the funniest thing is he didn't know the kid's name. Little Timmy's in a well. Sean, the father, Sean. And when I was like, look, guys, this ain't what it seems like, everybody's like, oh, fuck you, Dolly. You just jealous. Dog is the man. But look now. Look now. Right? I mean, what happened? What happened? That's my question. Listen, when I said that shit months ago, I knew I was right then. But listen, you ain't gonna tell me I'm right, okay? We ain't gonna rub it in or nothing. But just know that once again, I told you how things were, okay? And Dolly didn't bullshit you. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, but sometimes it's better to hear the truth, even if it's hard truth or tough, you know, tough love. But it's better for somebody to be real with you than to come out here and bullshit people and fill your hearts with false hope. Okay. But I don't know why all these bad people are doing the shit they do, you know? And I knew it wasn't going to help the Sebastian case. Now, if they would have all been putting search parties together, I'd have been behind it 100%. But they were trying to sell books, Sebastian t-shirts, you know, but they're not setting up searches, not public searches. They're not asking for the community to come together and help find this child. It's, well, if you're on my team, you can search if you're part of the cool kids. And really, it's part of, like, who wants to be on a team with those people? I would never want to be on a team with TikTok Tony and all these other fraud ass people, you know. And I felt terrible for Seth, right? That's why I jumped on a plane, flew down there to go try to help him because I felt so bad for him. But one mistake after another mistake after another mistake until you got people speaking for your son. You know, I just believe that his voice was lost along the way, and because of all the other voices involved. You know, you got Tony speaking for him, telling him when he can talk, when he can't talk, who he can talk to, who he can't talk to. And you know, I'm gonna say it again. They've been doing this same stuff for a year with no results. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You do the same shit, you're going to get the same results. And them results haven't got Sebastian home. So something has to change, you know. And my thing is, you know, I get out here and scream, search for this kid so much that I'm getting tired of saying it, you know, because people are not listening. The people that are in charge of this, the people that should be caring, don't really care. There's no reason a YouTuber, not just me, but Terry Lynn, Silver on the Scene, other people that are down there in Tennessee should be searching for your kid more than you are. And that goes for all the parents. There's no reason that any YouTuber on this planet should be searching harder than you are. As a parent, it is your job, your responsibility. And when I see parents that don't, oh well, you know, it is heartbreaking because there's so many people that would fight to the death for their kids, and we see parents that just don't really give a damn, or they given up. Like, now listen, I believe Seth cared, but some way or another, the people that got around him made him give up. And you know, praying's great, don't get me wrong. Listen, the power of prayer is great, but you know what works even better? Getting your ass out there searching, right? That's why God gave you 2 legs. That's why he gave you some eyes so you can look your ass around for your child. That's why he gave you a voice. And you're not using it. It's, I don't know. But these people are acting like they've been searching for a year and they ain't done really much of nothing publicly. That's what I want to say. Now, what they done privately, we really have no way to tell. But listen, I know a ton of people down there in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I spent a lot of time in Tennessee, and my people, my sources down there are saying, hey, they ain't doing much.
I mean, he should be in school, he should be playing, he should be learning, he should be experiencing life. And until we can find.
How does she know he is not experiencing life? He should be experiencing life. She's talking like he's dead, like he's been dead. He should be experiencing life. Well, if he ran away, Katie, like you said, he would be experiencing life on his own, life in wherever he's at. But you're saying you're saying it like you're talking like he's dead, right? It's like what I was just saying about giving up hope, right? Like there's not a tear in your eye. Look at her eyes. Let me blow it up just so y'all can see this. She basically has to force herself to get a tear out that crusty, dry ass eye. Look at that. Do you see one tear? Her eyes ain't bloodshot. You know how when you cry, your eyes get puffy? Like when you really cry. When you fake cry, they don't. But when you really cry, your eyes get bloodshot. Your eyes get puffy. And you don't see that, right? You don't see it. Like, where's the emotion? And some people say, Dolly, we think she may be under the influence of medications because, you know, she's going through a traumatic thing and anxiety and, you know, nerve medicines like, you know, Mr. Sleepy Time. Okay. And that's why she's so calm. And that's why she's so motionless. I mean, I'm no expert. I just know that whatever she's doing, she's awful calm for a situation where she has a missing kid that she's talking about like he's no longer with us, like he's not experiencing, he should be experiencing life. Well, how do you know he's not with somebody else? Because you know what happened to him. Just like you knew he wasn't with Seth. How did you know that? Because you knew where he was at. Or you knew where he went. You knew he wasn't with Seth. That's why you didn't call Seth. Who kid goes missing and they don't call the other parent? Okay? Who? If my kid right now, she's out of town, she's in New York at a concert, wasn't calling, I would call my baby's mom and be like, hey, have you heard from Tiff? To make sure she's okay. But you didn't care whatsoever to check in with Seth. To me, huge red flag.
Find him, and until we can bring him home, we're going to keep doing everything we can to make sure that people don't forget about him. We're going to keep making sure that we spread awareness for him.
Katie, tell us what you're doing to do that. I want to hear it. Listen, if you got a way to do that, I will help you. Okay? Let me know, Katie. What do you need us to do? Just what do you need? You're not telling us. You're saying it, but you're not telling us. Okay? You're saying it, but we don't see you doing it. You want to hear, if you want to be a leader in this world, you have to lead by example. Okay? You have to lead by example, Katie. If you was out there leading by example, I think more people would support you. Look how many people love Brandy, support Brandy, Neil. You know, she has a missing kid too, right? You know the difference? It's the way she acts. Okay? Brandy is like an angel. She's like a rock star for the missing now. She is the poster child for what a grieving mother is. She is strong. She is tough. Katie looks like she's abused alcohol. I'm not body shame. She's very full in the face and red. Very telling. Yes. Thank you. Come on. Jump on the Dolly Express. You bless when you ride in the Dolly Express. All right. Let's open them gates for you. Okay. So it's like we just opened the gates of heaven for you. Jump on the train, get you a nice seat. Thank you for supporting and thank you for your donation. That is super awesome of you. Yeah, I mean, PJ said the same thing, that she looks like she's been abusing alcohol. Now, I don't know, she does look to me to appear, and this ain't body shaming. I don't care the lady's size. It don't matter to me. She looked like she put on a few pounds. Now, I put on a few pounds myself. I don't know if y'all noticed. Look at them guns, right? I'm getting a little thicker. I've got on the scales 185 pounds. Good Lord. I usually walk around about 165, so I'm up 20. I'm supposed to be, but I've been working out, so I'm going to try to bring that down a little bit, a little something. But yeah, she's gotten a little plump. Okay, a little plump, I would have to say, and that could be, stress, eating. I eat a lot when I'm stressed. It could be stress because her kid's missing. It could be stress because she's done something to her kid. It's hard to tell, but she does look like, from when this first happened till now, she is a little red in the face. But you got to remember, I don't know how many of you guys have been in like real big studios, or they have a lot of lights, and sometimes when you get under those lights, they be beaming down on you, and they put lights on you, and it'll make you red, just like I was at my tryouts for Survivor, and you got to go in front of this big ass TV camera, and they got these two bright, it's like the sun is beaming on you, right? It's like boom, and all you see is white. It's like, and you get a little red. But you can also do that from, abusing alcohol too. So it could be either or.
And we're going to keep searching, and we're definitely going to keep praying.
Well, praying works, but y'all, yeah, I ain't seen y'all do a bunch of searching. I ain't saying you're not searching. I'm just saying people haven't seen y'all do a lot of searching. We seen Chris one day with Cluminati and Cletus, and I believe Stephen Crabtree, and that was like that was it. That was it. And far as publicly, videotape. Now I can't say what they're doing behind closed doors. They could be searching underneath the bed. They could be searching the attic of the house. But we ain't seen a whole lot of searching of the woods around Hendersonville, Tennessee, or the citizens of Hendersonville, Tennessee that I know haven't really seen y'all.
You've told me you do want to stay positive. I know you both want to stay positive. That's all part of it. So in your mind, do you see Sebastian coming back through your front door? Do you feel he's okay, he's alive, he's out there?
I dream about it every day. I dream that one day I'm gonna wake up and this is gonna be a nightmare. But yes, I believe that my son is out there somewhere. I believe that we are going to find him. We are going to bring him home, and we're.
Well, Katie, I hate to tell you, right? I hate to tell you, to bring your child home, you have to get out there and look for him. Okay. Awareness helps, spreading the word on the internet, but you really got to get out there and look. And I say this all the time, and I hate to sound like a broken record. I ain't never found nothing I wasn't looking for. If I lost something, usually I look for it. I don't sit around here and go, well, it'll come through the door. No, I get out there and look. I make the sacrifices. I do shit I don't want to do, and I do that for other people. It's just crazy that I search for people's kids and loved ones all the time. Travel around and do it. You can imagine how hard I would search if it was my kid, right? And so when I see these people that ain't doing much, it blows my mind. It shows how much you care. Like, you showed the world how much you've cared already. That's why, like, when people see this, most of the time, if you were just tuning in, you had never heard this story, you would feel so bad for this lady, right? You'd feel so bad for her. She would break your heart. But if you've seen how she acted all year, and then you've seen all this, then you'd be like, who even cares at this point? You showed us who you are, right? Like, yeah, if I just tuned in for the first time today, I would go, oh man, this woman's going through it. I wouldn't, it's too late. It's too late. Get out there and like earn our respect back. That's what you got to do.
We're going to find a way to recover from this, and I'm going to watch him grow into a young man, and
yes, Crimson Tide, I looked at your emails.
What would you say to him when he walked in that door?
Oh God, I don't even know if I'd be able to speak. I'd probably bulldoze him down with hugs. Honestly, when I picture that, I just picture being able to hug him, to hold him, to smell him. I just to be able to hear his voice, to hear his laugh, to see him just be with.
What are my thoughts on them not going back on Nancy Grace? Okay. Mel, here's the thing. Nancy is the GOAT. She is the OG of true crime. I don't care what anybody says. Does she make a few slip ups? Yes. Like, she did the whole Bigfoot video with the dude that wears all that makeup, right? And lies about his name. But for the most part, she knew to take that down, right? She knew it was misinformation and she took it down. Thank you, Nancy. That was good work. Okay. Before that got any farther along, it was a good job to take it down. Nancy is the GOAT. She is the best in true crime. There's nobody quite like Nancy, top mom. She's coined so many phrases, and where's the baby? You know, I get all that stuff from, you know, now people, you know, relate it to Dolly, but I just hijacked that from Nancy, right? The whole where's the baby thing and made it my own. But you know, the whole thing is Nancy don't play. She's gonna go hard on you. She was real easy on them the first time, and they got away with it for Nancy. I even told Nancy in person, I said, Nancy, you were awful easy on them. And she was, you know, Nancy told me they were liars and they didn't come back on the show. They didn't keep their word. And, you know, like, you know, CrimeCon, you know, they said I was controversial. You know, Dolly's controversial. And, you know, I start all my shows with warnings. I say that the parents are suspicious to me, not that they're not guilty. You know, I don't know if they're guilty or not. I ain't putting that on them. But, you know, CrimeCon has told me, you know, I'm too controversial to get a booth at CrimeCon. They just don't want Dolly there, right? I'm like, but Nancy is like their head speaker, right? And who's more controversial than Nancy Grace? Okay, she's pretty damn controversial. I hate to say it, right? I love Nancy. And you know, if I could be as good as Nancy, that would be awesome, right? But she accuses people. Bring Sebastian home. Thank you. Get on the train with us. The Blessed Express. You ride with the best when you're on the express, right? So when you know, I look at the whole CrimeCon thing and I'm like, okay, you got controversial people, but I'm controversial. I never understood that. I mean, maybe there's something personally that they don't like about me. Might be my face. Maybe I would hope or something, but just not let me be a part of the crime. I can't be with my peers. I can't represent nothing. That just blows my mind when, you know, if it was controversy that y'all are scared of, y'all wouldn't have Nancy there. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Now, I love Nancy. Don't get me wrong. I think, to be honest, I'm just saying she's more controversial than me. Now, I may say a couple F-bombs here and there, and I'm not even that bad. I'm not even a foul-mouthed channel. But I don't know. But that's what Nancy told me when I was at CrimeCon, that they lied to her, and you know, they were scared of Nancy. If you looked at, like, usually Chris, for anybody that's watched from the beginning, Chris would overtalk women. Let me make this crystal clear. And he would control the room when he came into it. Okay. He's a very controlling little man. Okay. When Nancy, and he would only do that with women, right? When Nancy, he couldn't do that with Nancy. Nancy ran it like a boss, and they were scared. They were over there, yes, ma'am, you know, and so they were scared to go back up there. They're scared 10,000 turtles will show up and take over and make it DollyCon. That's what I think. That's what I think. Right? I don't know what it is. They'll have, you know, people that you ain't heard of, and like, I've put millions and millions of views onto the YouTube board. You know, I work my ass off in true crime, and I'm like the Rodney Dangerfield of true crime. I get no respect, like none. I think it's because, you know, I don't know. Maybe they just think I'm a dumb hillbilly or something, and they let the country twang fool them. I'm like a super genius. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here like Pinky and the Brain plotting on how to take over the world. I guess they don't see it or something. I don't know. Like, they just tell me, hey, no, you can't be part of CrimeCon. Can't do it. You're controversial. And like, ever? Like, just, can I get a corner booth like in the back? Maybe a little table, a little small one, like a starter booth. Can I get like a starter booth at CrimeCon? You know, it's like, and then it makes me not want to support CrimeCon because they're so hard on me. But at the same time, I enjoy the whole true crime people and meeting all the true crime people and meeting all the other YouTubers. I've been thinking about setting up our own convention for YouTubers, true crime, crama, the whole thing, and doing a big one here in Virginia Beach. Because they won't let me in none of them, right? Like, I'm like, they're so, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of disheartening, because I work so hard doing what I do for people to be like, well, better luck, good luck with your future endeavors, is what they told me. Good luck with your future endeavors. Can't be a part of CrimeCon. What? That is just crazy. That is just crazy. I don't know. Who in true crime don't know who Dolly Vision is? I mean, maybe 2 years ago nobody knew, but you look at what we've done in 2 years, and everybody in true crime knows who we are. And they won't let me sit at the lunchroom table. I'm like the red-headed stepchild of true crime. That is horrible. That is absolutely horrible.
With us and be okay is like I can't wait to see my son. I want to find him so bad.
You think he's coming home, right? How would you describe what you all have experienced this last year with so many unanswered questions still?
It's horrific, to be honest with you. I don't know how to describe what it feels like to watch the news, to go hang flyers in every store, every business, every place that you go to, and still find that some people don't even know about it. To hear that.
Thought you were buddies with Bullhorn because of Georgia. Betcha. I haven't talked to Betty in a good year. I haven't even spoke to her. Like when she started doing all the Seth shit and she started acting all crazy, thinking everything was about her and stuff like that. I haven't talked to Betty. I don't associate with I'm a loner. You know what I'm saying? And I truly don't think, yes, Crimson Tide, I got your email. I was going through all that stuff. But like I said, I don't think I'm that controversial. Okay. I think I'm pretty fair, pretty genuine person. Like, I help people up here. Like, it is what it is. Okay. I mean, I guess some people just hate my face. I used to say it all the time. Some people just hate my face, and maybe those people just don't like my face. It's scary. I ain't your typical true crime guy. I'm not, I'm a little different than a lot of people up here, and I get it. I get it. But that don't mean that I ain't, this is what I do. Right? So it sucks. It sucks. Not a good feeling. Not a good feeling.
There might be a lead, and then just to sit there and have to wait and find out that it's not him yet. And
it's pure hell. I mean, there's nothing you can, there's no words, there's no way to put how this actually feels. And anybody that can, I don't see how. I mean, Brandy will tell you how she feels.
Hit her up sometime, Chris, and be like, hey, Brandy, how do you feel? She'll tell you exactly how she feels. She'll tell you what she's felt like for the last 3 years. She'll tell you what every day is like for her. She don't have any problem describing the pain that these people have caused her and her family. There's words for it. It's just y'all don't know what to say. You know, like, if I was you, I would have just stayed there and faked to sleep like you've been doing most of this interview. You were better off. Just shh.
It's day-to-day life changes and you're stuck. It's almost like it feels like it's a Groundhog Day thing where it's the same thing over and over. You wait and you hope a phone call may come in, you may get something, may get a lead. Turns out to be nothing. That's how it feels.
What is that message? I know we were talking earlier last week. Tell me what that message is that you want to make sure our viewers hear from you tonight.
I want to thank everyone who is searching. I want to thank everyone who is spreading flyers, spreading awareness. I want to ask everyone not to forget, and I want to encourage people to keep helping and to keep bringing awareness, not only to our son, but to all of the missing children, because they all.
Okay, we're going to continue to help and spread awareness. And it says, if the organizers of CrimeCon bother to watch all you've done, they would happily have you. Now, according to them, they've reviewed my channel, you know, and too controversial. Too controversial. Make that make sense. Oh my God. Like, everybody there has had some type of controversy. Okay. You got to remember last year with Nancy, looking, do I say anything worse than Nancy says about Casey Anthony? Right? No, not whatsoever. Look at John Walsh was there. Remember his daughter's kids and all the shit he went through? That's pretty controversial, right? So you got all these people that are your head speakers that are controversial. It's true crime. There's no way to be not controversial. Okay. You're going to have to sometimes say things. I've given up. I've given up on the whole being a part of CrimeCon. I mean, I'll attend the events and you know, still spread my awareness and tell people. But far as trying to communicate with them and ask them to let me be a part of it and just to be rejected over and over again. It's like asking a girl on a date and she's just like, no, I can't do it. No, I can't do it. Well, I mean, what, I gotta beg? I gotta beg to be a part of something I believe that I've rightfully earned? Like,
all deserve to go home. And I would also like to say that if my son could hear it, that we love him so much and that we are going to keep searching. We are going to keep looking. We are going to find him and we are going to bring him home.
it's definitely because I made fun of the mullet. I don't know. It's not that. It's like, I don't think some people are used to my type of entertainment. Okay. Our entertainment, people are not used to it. You know, they're not used to people trying to bring humor into a bad situation. Everybody is like, so I hate to say this, but in true crime, like, what's the word I'm looking for? So serious that it'll bore you into a coma. Okay, they're so serious. Everything's so serious and so serious. Like, there's they forget that YouTube is for entertainment also. Okay, that people want their minds entertained. People like to laugh. People, you know, you see the numbers, right? You see the numbers that it's 3:30 in the morning. There's 1,000 people in the room, right? Thank you for gifting Sylvie them 5 memberships. All right. That is awesome of you. Let's open the gates, right? Maybe they don't like the gates open. You know, they don't like the I mean, I don't know. But I just don't think, you know, that we're so different that it could be a bad thing to some people, you know, because there's so many people take true crime so seriously that when you listen to their podcasts and you listen to them talk, it's like kind of like the Ben Style dry eye commercial. It's like you know, and who the hell wants that, right? You can talk true crime and you can have fun. You can add some entertainment to it. You can add some laughs to it. When it's time to take things serious here, we take things serious. When it's time to have a little bit of fun, we have some fucking fun, right? It is what it is.
Describe your hope right now.
I'm trying to be positive as I can because I know that my son is out there. I struggle to find words to even describe how it feels anymore because it's a living nightmare, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about the fact that Sebastian is out there and that we're.
No, they're not going to let me in this year either. No. You said maybe this year. No. They're like, nah, fuck off, basically. They don't want Dolly, right? You can't cry over spilled milk. You know, all you can do is try, right? And you know what they did last year. This year they don't want us there. So it's like, okay, like, wow. Like, you know, what did we do that was so bad? You know, like, what do they got against me? Like, I almost feel like it's personal. Like there's something they personally don't like about me. I mean, if it was a true crime thing, I'm thinking I've been there. I've seen the creators that are there. You know, there's some cool people there. Don't get me wrong, but they need Dolly. You know what I'm saying? They could use Dolly. It would, you know, but I don't know. Maybe they think I'll do something crazy. You know, last year people were sending messages hating on us. Like Dolly's this, Dolly's bad. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they still remember that, or there's just, you know, they don't want to take any chance because, you know, there's a lot of big sponsors of CrimeCon and they don't want anybody to get in there and make them look bad. But, you know, I was there last year. I was there the whole time. The only thing the difference was is I didn't have a place to sit down. So I was willing to pay thousands for a place to sit down. And that was it. That's the only difference is you get to put your banner up and sit down. And they're like, no. It makes no sense to me. So it ain't like they can keep me out of it, right? I'm, you know, I go pay their money and go in and talk to everybody, take pictures with everybody, just like if I was there. But I just don't have a place to sit down. Take your one chair. Take your chairs with you. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a booth, and that's the thing. It ain't. Can I go to CrimeCon? Of course, I can go to CrimeCon. I can meet everybody. I did that last year. And just because they wouldn't give us a booth doesn't mean I wasn't showing up to meet all my fans and people that support the channel. We had a big gathering and everything down there in Tennessee. This year it's Colorado, and I wanted a booth, but they got no love for me. I mean, like I don't know. Like I said, I don't do anything too crazy. It's so hard for me to understand. Like, unless one of them people just watch me and they just don't like what I do, you know, like, who knows? I guess it's a cool kids party. Dolly ain't cool enough to be a part of it.
We're looking for him, and we're going to keep looking for him, and we're going to keep praying to God that he is okay.
If I take the cone, Ed,
and we're gonna bring him home.
Yeah, Seth has a channel. Katie, I got better chances of getting a damn CrimeCon booth than you bringing him home if you're not looking. It's insane. To get this kid home, guys, you got to get these search parties together, right? You got to get search parties together. You got to get people out in those woods. We love y'all, Dolly and PJ. Thank you, guys. And I love y'all too, right? Either way, we have an awesome fan base and family here at Dolly Vision, so even if we don't make CrimeCon ever or anything like that, we're still going to rock it nonstop it. We're still here daily with you guys. We're still bringing a lot of good true crime to YouTube, a lot of information, all those things. So that's not going to change. And them people don't control that. You know what I'm saying? They just control where I can set my table up. But I just like it, I can joke and pick about it, but it's still, like I said, disheartening, because I feel like I work just as hard as any other true crime person out here. Okay. It's just the only difference is I add a little bit of humor to it, but I'm not disrespectful. And I was there last year. Did anything happen? Was there any problems? Nothing, right? Nothing. I met everybody, met all the creators, took pictures with 1 million people, and why can't I sit down? Why can't I? I'm old. I had a heart attack. Can I sit down? Right? And it's just, maybe good luck on your future endeavors, maybe next year or reapply next year. But how many, I can't go live to 300. Right? I ain't going to be through to them 300. Damn. I'm not asking to be a speaker. None of that, right? Who on YouTube in this niche does more searching than me? Okay. And I'm talking about across the country. Maybe JLR, right? And most of the time I'm neck and neck with him. Who? Can AWP maybe? AWP, maybe the Juan dude last night, but are they? No, they're not all a boost. They just won't give me one.
This story, we know it's baffled our Hendersonville community. We know it's baffled the mid-state community. It's baffled much of the country as they hear about it. Is there anything that stands out to you that's the most baffling? Like you're just trying to understand how
AWP is Adventures with Purpose. They do a lot of recovery missions, pulling cars out of the water, stuff like that. They do a really good job. They're the ones that found Callie Rodney. Okay, was Adventures with Purpose. Heather says run your own race. JR does everything. He's cloned himself. Yeah. Okay. But what I'm saying is next to a dude that's cloned and you can't outbeat him, I'm close number 2. Okay. I think I work just as hard, maybe, well, not as hard as JR. He works harder. I give him that. But I'm in the race. I'm in the top 10 at least. Let's just say we knock me out of number 2 and we put me at number 5, right? I still should get a spot. Okay, I'm number 5. I'm in the top 10. Okay. I mean, I may be a little lower than 1, 2, 3. This just put me at 5. Okay. Behind Grizzly, behind Plunder, behind JLR, but I'm at least ranked number 5 on the rankings. Okay. If this was UFC, I would be at least ranked number 5 in the world. What?
How we've gone this long and still haven't found him, honestly, is. I don't understand how we haven't found
Thank
him
you,
yet.
Sweet Jones.
Why do you think Sebastian is still missing?
That's tough to say.
I know. Thank you.
It was the largest manhunt.
You
in
guys are
Tennessee
number one to
history
me too.
for a child, and absolutely zero evidence. There's nothing out there. Law enforcement's working due diligently. They are working hard over and over and over. You know, we appreciate everything they do. I mean, it is an active investigation, so I don't want to go into it.
Pat D says, you have the right to sit down. Okay. This is good. This is my favorite comment so far. You have the right to sit down and you had a heart attack. Get a motorized chair with a little desktop attached with a little dolly flag and just drive around that bitch. Oh, Lord. I wonder how much they'll charge me, right? If you have to listen, you know, it has to be handicap accessible. Okay. It has to be. Put a little table and I'll strap it to a chair. I'm tempted. I am tempted to do that with a little dolly flag off the back. You know what I'm saying? My table will be mobile. Oh, that would be good. Okay. Come to my booth. It's just me and a little fucking hover around.
But it is.
PJ walk behind you.
It is mind blowing at the same time that it's been a year, and the amount of people that still don't know about this. It's unnerving, basically.
A scooter with a TV
Out as much as
yeah.
possible, and that's what this story. Obviously, that's what we're trying to do as well. There are many people who
They'll charge you for parking. Yes, probably so. They'd be like, okay, that counts as a booth. That'll be $2,200.
who still do not know that you all have hired a private investigator. What can you tell me about the video that he recently has discovered and wants to share? I know this has been shared with authorities now.
It has.
This is involving the neighborhood that you live in. What can you tell me about that video?
I don't think they're jealous. Somebody said, I think they're jealous of you. No, because they have a lot of huge creators there. Like 10 to Life was there. The dude from, I don't know what his channel was. Big Brother was there. They had some big YouTubers there. I'm talking about people with millions of subscribers. But then, you know, they had YouTubers that nobody knew who they were. Right? They had booths that were like, you know, the people didn't have no displays, no, it just was a dude sitting at a table that nobody knew who they were. They had people like that. And I'm like, you know, if you're going to spend all that money to get a booth, it seems like you're going to advertise your brand, right? Dolly, consider doing your own thing. Same vicinity as CrimeCon. Advertise. You have so many more eyes on you than if you went to CrimeCon alone. The turtles don't went against turtles that went against CrimeCon. Hello, the turtles that went against CrimeCon. But basically, you know, listen, like when we were at CrimeCon in Tennessee, we had to do our own thing, right? So we had to meet and eat because they wouldn't let us, you know, be a part of CrimeCon. So some people just attended that because they couldn't afford CrimeCon, because CrimeCon is expensive. It's like $400 for the weekend. Okay, just to walk through it. It's like $400. So I knew everybody didn't have that type of money. It is like true crime is like the upper class of, you know, maybe I'm not the, you know, maybe, yeah, I ain't the most classy person, maybe. I don't know. I just kick it around in my mind like, why can't I be involved? Like, I'm not crazy, you know, I'm not going to do nothing insane. You know, I ain't gonna freak all out or nothing. Yeah. Wow. I mean, so yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how we got on that. It's depressing though. Dolly, consider organizing searches. People want to help, just don't know how. If organized and guidance there, people will come. Three sides. I agree with everything you just said. Okay. Um, you guys get on the train. Come on in. Come on in. The Blessed Express. You know, but like I said, it sucks they won't have us there, but it ain't the end of the world, right? Like we're going to continue to truck down the road. If we have to, we will one day put something together here in Virginia and invite all the true crime people and host it ourselves. We have plenty of hotels that have like convention centers and things like that. In the way, I mean, they do it, it's pretty simple. Is they sell booths and then they have all the money before it even starts. So they have the money to pay Nancy, damn John Walsh, but they've been doing it, and it's the biggest true crime convention in the country. So who wouldn't, if you're in true crime and you're serious about your channel, why wouldn't you want to be involved in the biggest true crime event every year, right? That's why I wanted to be a part of it. It's because it's the biggest event. And yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I could easily set up a convention. It ain't that hard. And, you know, for the most part, you know, I was in the music world forever. So booking and promotion is something I'm super familiar with. Do a 3-day live Turtle Island, invite the YouTube creators to come who are voted on. That would be awesome. No, what I would do is put a big event together where we had true crime people, YouTube people, and do it like a mix of like how they like CrimeCon, you know, instead of CrimeCon, but more of a Comic-Con setup where you have a little bit of everything, where you have movie people, you have true crime people, you have authors, you have a little bit of everybody. YouTubers, and promote it on the radio here locally, put it at one of the convention centers here, pre-sale booths just like they do. Okay, you want to be a part of it? I wouldn't charge as much as CrimeCon because they're, you know, they've been doing it for so many years, but that would pay for the convention center, that would pay for certain high profile guests, you know, to fly them in. I mean, it all costs money. And, you know, these people that put this together, they make millions, right? Because you listen, there's thousands of people at CrimeCon. I say there was at least 5,000 people there. 5,000 times $400. You do the math. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. So instead of having to do all that work, I just wanted the damn place to sit down. Yeah, me and PJ are going, right? That was the plan, to go and, you know, to hit them up, see if I could be a part of it. And they're like, nope. Like, you have to try, right? Why not try? But I don't know. They don't like Dolly Vision. I guess we are the ghetto trash of true crime. That's how I feel anyway.
It's eye-opening to see that this is something that recently has surfaced, and it's been this long. It's just taken that long to find something. And what the video shows is kind of mind-boggling. We went from potentially not having a sighting to potentially having a sighting.
That wasn't no sighting. That was a Bigfoot video, Chris. And you say $2 million? That's what I'm saying. It's a lot. It's big money. It's big money in these conventions and stuff they do. So, I mean, I guess they don't want nothing that may go bad. And I know I wouldn't do nothing bad. I don't know. But yeah, they got plenty of money to do what they do. I don't got millions of dollars sitting around to put it on. But could it be done? Yeah, absolutely, it could be done. It would need a lot of help, a lot of support, and sponsors. But you could, if you, it would take some time, but it could be done. It could be a convention, center ain't hard to get. It's the sponsors and getting the people here. That's where, the money would have to come in. It's a money thing.
And it kind of changes, like, wait a minute, now we may have something to actually work off of and move forward with and see where this goes. Exercise every avenue to its fullest.
I hope so.
It doesn't matter.
Unturned. No stone unturned.
I mean, insurance risk.
Katie, you told me earlier you were determined to get to the bottom of this, to get to the bottom of that video.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm walking too much Wu-Tang.
Anything that could possibly be something that could lead us to him. We're going to keep looking. We're going to keep digging.
I could get the Wu-Tang to show up. I know that. I mean, I know I can get the Wu-Tang there. I booked many of shows for the Wu-Tang. Matter of fact, one of them's coming to town this week here. My buddy booked a show. Ghostface Killer is coming. I think it's this weekend that he's going to be here. I mean, I know I can get the Wu-Tang to show up. They're not hard. They're not even that expensive to get to show up. I mean, it's up there, but it ain't like godly up there. And they're easy to sell tickets for because people buy tickets. So it's easy to make your money back when you promote them, right? It sucks when you book somebody and they want a crazy amount of money and then they sell like 300 tickets and then you can't make your money back. And then you just took a hit. Like, I wasn't booking in promotions for a good while. So, that's how I know it can be done. I know the people that could put it together. It's just, the timing of it. Like, say if I wanted to do it this year, you need at least 6-7 months to plan it, to build a website, to book the people, and we're already at, I mean, it could be done in October, right? Maybe October, something like that. A convention, YouTube-a-thon or something. I don't know. Something cool.
And keep finding and confirm if it is or isn't, because, I mean, if it's possible, then it's got to be confirmed.
How hopeful are you that this video truly has something that could lead to finding
Polycon?
I pray that.
No, it would have to be something more, YouTube-a-thon or something. It had to be something to deal with, more than me. I'm not that big a fish. There's way bigger YouTube creators out there than me. You know what I'm saying? And if we did it, I wouldn't want it just true crime. See, CrimeCon is just true crime. But if you could open it up just a little bit and expand it into other things, you could, especially for the first one, because you want to get as many people there as you can. And if it was just Dolly, yeah, I mean, some people would show up to see me, of course. TubeCon, that's good. I like that. And you invite a lot of different big YouTubers, it could work. Okay, because majority, like, even if you don't like true crime, there's somebody that you like on YouTube, and then you can bring in other niches, like, let's just say you bring in some drama people, you bring in some crime people, you bring in some true crime people, you bring in a little bit of everything, right? And then you just promote the shit out of it. Come meet your favorite YouTuber and just invite a bunch of people that and hopefully some of them show up.
If there is anything even remotely in it that could help us find Sebastian, I pray that it is. I don't know how to word it, but it's followed up and found out and confirmed one way or the other, because, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the video. I know it's in it. It actually gives us more rejuvenated hope.
True crime and horror would be good, okay? Because that's more up my alley. True crime and horror, because I go to some of these horror conventions, right, where they bring in all the people from the horror places. Like they'll bring in like I met Candyman. They had the dude from Chucky was there. That would be easy. That would be easy. Crime and horror, like so you could come in and meet like the dude that wears the Jason mask. You know what I'm saying? Kane, whatever his name is. I forget his last name. I know his first name's Kane. But they bring in all the horror people around here all the time. And the last one I went to was kind of a bootleg convention, right? I was like, this is kind of bootleg. Like I was thinking to myself, I could put on a better convention than the one they had for the horror con. What was it? Horror? I forget what the name of it was. Horror Con? I don't know. It was some shit like that. Virginia Beach Horror Con. But if we did like a true crime horror convention in October, that would be cool. But then see, we're in a tourist spot, and I think most people would want to come here in the summertime because Virginia Beach is a big ass tourist spot. But in October, that's when everything dies down. Right, September is like the last of summer, and then October, I mean, it would work. But then you got to compete with other people that are trying to do horror stuff too, because October is like Halloween. So a lot of people like to do Halloween related conventions, you know? So that would give me time to do it. It would give me 7 months and build a website, which don't take long. I have somebody build me a website like that. And then start promoting it through YouTube, where it's YouTubers, horror people, you know, add in some WWE wrestlers or something. Get Ric Flair. Ric Flair is at a convention the 27th. Remember, I don't know, you know, listen, I believe in speaking shit into existence. Remember I said I want to meet Ric Flair before he dies? Ric Flair is going to be in Richmond the 27th, which is just crazy because I was just talking about him. And I'm going up there to meet Ric Flair. Okay, so he's gonna be there Saturday and Sunday, the 27th in Richmond. And what's it called? GalaxyCon or something? It's something like that, but it's gonna be in Richmond. And you know, everybody got these cons now, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll get some furries. We do it just everything, you know, and make it one convention. Put up a mud wrestling ring. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? That ain't bad. But I mean, the convention center, easy to get. Just getting the people here is where the money comes in, though, because you know, big people ain't gonna come for free. So like you would have to pay them. So that's how you know they pay Nancy. You know they pay John Walsh. You know they pay they probably paid Annie Elise. They probably pay a lot of these people or let them come for free, you know? So that's how they get them. But if you just starting off and you ain't got no capital, you ain't got no money, how do we get the people to come? You know, we had to sell booths. And if you ain't never done it, what would make people want to pay high prices on booths? Vinny would come, possibly. You know, so you would have to at least supply to people with a hotel room and some money, the big people. I ain't talking about everybody, but I'm just talking about, you know, like you're going to need at least 3-4 big names. And the rest of it could be like, you know, smaller people. But if you got 3 or 4 good names of famous people, you could promote it off of that. So, and then, you know, people broadcasting from the YouTubian event. YouTubia. That's a good one too. YouTubia. Because you know how Don and Candace Wells calls YouTubers YouTubians? YouTubia. There you go. And then it just be all YouTube people, true crime people, horror people, and you mix it all together into one banging ass convention. I think that'd be better than CrimeCon, honestly, because you know, more interesting. Because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people like true crime, but there's a lot of people like a lot of stuff too. There's other things I like other than true crime. Go to some cons and go booth to booth. That's how most of them make their living. They're somewhere every weekend. I mean, you may be right there, Beach Bum. We might listen. We may put a little group together, and maybe we'll do something like this. But I'm gonna need some help. If we do, I'll need a team and a whole team of people working on it, and we could possibly pull it off. But I would need a team of dedicated soldiers to go to battle with me. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to one the 27th. And if we did it, we would have to plan it. We need at least 6 months to promote it, at least. So the soonest we could do it would be October. So we could try it. I mean, we try it. I mean, if it don't do great, then we won't have to do it again. You know, but if it does good, then it may be something we could do every year. You know, and plus, you know, whatever we have to pay, we'll get back in emissions because people got to pay to get in, right? I think the horror festival one I went to was like $35, right? It wasn't nothing crazy. CrimeCon is $400, okay, for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, $400. So I mean, we can't make it crazy high, but I would say for the weekend, $150, right? That sounds about right. If we could get, let's say we can get 1,000 people to the first one, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. You know, time you sell booths, time you pay, vendors have to pay to be there too. So if you want to come there and sell stuff, they have to pay, right? And then, see, now you got me planning. I can promote over here on the west side. We had to promote it real big on the East Coast. Okay. I mean, we could promote it everywhere, but I think most of our people would come through that are on the East Coast. Okay. So, real big push on the East Coast, and it can be done. Do 75 a day, 150 for the weekend. There you go. That's smart. See, I'm saying with all the people and the brains we got, we could probably figure some stuff out, you know, and make it happen. And then I don't really got to kiss anybody's butt to get on CrimeCon. Dolly, organize a team. I know it would be successful. It could. I mean, I could call around. I know the hotel too. The same one they did the horror convention at. And I just make sure it's before their horror convention. So that way we're not bumping heads and making enemies right off the rip. You know what I'm saying? You would have to have security. You got to have, you know, sound and lights for, like, you know, we had to have some type of programming. So certain people would be speakers. We would have to have the PA set up, DJ, bands, because, you know me, I like music. So we would have music, bands, do some tattoo artists, right? There were a couple tattoo artists in there, some burlesque shows. Do it all, right? Just put it all under one roof. And I think it'd be cool. You don't think I'm that far from you? I'll be the security. Yeah, we would need like legitimate. I'll talk to the venue and just get a concept of what everything cost, and because I know it's going to be high, because we need rooms for the guests. That's where the money's going to come in, right? Let's just say we have 10 guests. 10, let's say 5 big names. Okay, 5 big names. Then you got to have 3 days hotel for them. Well, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they can fly out. So at least 2 days hotel. You're talking $300 right there a piece. Okay, $300 a piece times 5. What's that? $1,500. You're talking $1,500 just for the hotels. That ain't including them making any money, right? So you figure pay them for the weekend, $1,500 in hotel rooms. Right now, you're already You're already what, $3,000 in, right? So give everybody a few hundred, show up, free hotel room, you be a speaker, or whatever it may be, whatever they want, depending on the budget. And then you got to rent the venue, right? Which is going to be a couple G's, right? Probably more than that. Probably a good, I don't know. I'll call them and get a price. Put them in a Motel 6. No, you can't do that. It had to be at the convention center, right? Because most convention centers are at hotels. So they already got rooms there. So just like CrimeCon was at the Gaylord, right? Grand Ole Opry. Now it's at Colorado at some real expensive hotel. So they do it at the real like upscale places. I mean, we can down it a notch, but we don't want to down it. We ain't gonna put celebrities in a crack hotel. Why would they come? Right? They don't want, if it's something nice and they think they can promote whatever they're promoting, then they would possibly come. Get your spiral notebook, figure out the cost, and you charge the vendors and I know the participants and sponsors. Yeah, I mean, I know how it has to be done. It would take a team of us. It would definitely take a team of us to do something like that. I had mentioned it to PJ, like we could do our own thing, and something of this, you need like a year to plan. No monkeys allowed. Just saying, no monkeys. I mean, you really need a year, but can we do it in 7 months? I think we could. It's a little quick and a little have to really like start nailing it down fast, but I think we could and really promote it because you figure, we got YouTube to promote it on. And then once we start promoting it, inviting other YouTubers, they're going to start promoting it. And then we have a convention. That's all it takes. Just get the right people on board. And you get enough YouTubers together, people will show up, right? Even these people that are avatars that don't show themselves, we'll get them a costume or whatever their avatar is. So they can show up as an avatar, so like who don't show themselves? Queen Bee. We'll get her a bee outfit, okay? And bring her. So, or like, who else don't show themselves? There's a lot of people that don't show themselves on YouTube, but we'll get them a costume, right? They'll still be there, just you won't be able to see who they are. So, be like the Burning Man. Yeah. I got a lot of friends that are in booking promotions too. So, I would have to, talk to some people that are. I got one dude that's really good at getting sponsors. So if we got some good sponsors that back us and could handle some of the money and really start plugging and promoting it. Yeah. And then of course the radio here. Put it on the radio. I already know how much radio ads are. They're $700. I used to buy all kinds of radio ads back in the band days when we be playing big shows. So I mean there's different packages. 700 is a good package though. They play it all the damn time. But you can get packages for like $400, $500 on the radio. So then they run the ads, so all we do is hit the main stations right here around this area where the convention is. So that way we get the locals too, right? So you get the locals with the tattooist and the mud wrestling and the different things we talked about, right? And then we get the YouTube audience because of the YouTubers that we invite. And then, like I said, a couple celebrities, some horror people, and just mix it up of like, if you took all the cool cons and crushed them into one, I think would be pretty successful. Beer garden. I mean, they had a bar at the horror con that I went to. So they had a bar. CrimeCon, they didn't. They didn't have no alcohol. Not I know of. I don't think. Did anybody see the alcohol at CrimeCon? Who went to CrimeCon? Raise your hand. Press 1 in the chat if you went to CrimeCon. Yeah, there's alcohol. Yeah, the horror one I went to had a bar. Yeah, you have to fly and check into a hotel and all that good stuff. Oh, but there's campgrounds too. There's a lot of campgrounds around here because this is a tourist area. Short Legs, did you see a bar at CrimeCon? Did they have any drinks? We wouldn't do it at the Hilton. They have this one where they do the horror one. It's like a Holiday Inn, but it's big. And it's they do already do conventions there, like horror conventions, like different ones. And like I said, the last one I went to wasn't even set up that good. Like I was like, I could do a better convention than this. It was kind of lame. I was like, it's kind of lame. No, they had a before party with a bar. Yeah, but that was for like the VIPs. They didn't have it for the guests. You know, Dolly, get Upchurch security. Let's get Upchurch there. Okay, that would be good. I've seen Upchurch here too. I've seen him in Richmond, so that would be cool. You know, you get church to show up. You'll get some people to show up. I mean, it'd be packed. You got church to show up. That, and he's a YouTuber. Just tell him, hey man, this is this YouTube convention. We need you, right? And start flooding them, right? Creep Squad, and be like, show up, man, show up. And yeah, it would. That would make it a success. Like I wouldn't even doubt it. Like it, especially if he performed. Oh shit, you talking packed? You're talking packed. Midget wrestling, that would be good. He can give you some advice, yes. I mean, yeah, if you get that man to perform, shit, we'd be in there then. It'd be over and done with right there, you know. So you invite some podcasts, invite some YouTubers, invite couple celebrities, and just put it all together. And you know, you remember that? What is it? Build it and they'll come. If you put it together and it sounds cool enough, people will show up. You need to get Top Mom, right? Casey Anthony. She needs money right now. She does. She needs money. So we need to. I'm thinking it might be good. We put our own convention together. You know, I was going to do one a long time ago in conspiracy, right? I was going to do a conspiracy one with a bunch of conspiracy channels, but I don't know how good that would do. But I think like YouTubeathon or something. We got to come up with something crazy. Okay, listen. If you want to be part of my team to try to put this together, shoot me a message on Facebook. Okay, we're gonna need an army. We're gonna need at least an army of people to try to make this. If it can happen, we would need a decent group of people to put it together that's willing to work hard to make it happen. That's sending out emails, inviting people. You know, like I said, everybody got to do their little piece. Me, as far as me, I've secured a spot. And then we got to start working to be able to pay for it. Right. So, Creator Con, that ain't bad. And then, you know, we'll work together to come up with the name of it and we'll brainstorm it here. Right. And build it. Right. Build it and they'll come. We'll do something awesome. And if it works out, then we'll do it every year. If it don't, then we chalk our losses and beg to get on CrimeCon in 2026, right? But if not, let's shoot for sometime in October, and we have the coolest convention we can possibly have. All right, I'm talking something crazy. I've been to a few of them, so I know what they kind of do, but I've been to tattoo conventions. I've been to horror conventions. I've been to CrimeCon, you know, so I've seen what they do. They have like believe it or not, CrimeCon, it's cool if different people came, like each day. But it's kind of like you're there for 3 days. After the first day, you've kind of seen everything, right? Like you've seen all the YouTube creators and stuff. The only really good thing, like on the second day or third day as it goes, is the speakers, right? So we would need some good speakers, because that's what keeps you coming back. Because once you see everything, like you're like, okay, you didn't seen it. But the next day, like one day they had Nancy talking. One day they had the Petitos, the Petito Foundation. One day they had, they mixed it up like that. Church with Adam. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. But Adam Calhoun, he comes here all the time, and the dude, what is the one guy that does the redneck rave? He's on my Facebook. I added him not too long ago. Maybe I need to talk to him. He does big parties. So, but we don't want it to be a big party. We want it to be, taken seriously. If it's too crazy, ain't nobody gonna take it serious, right? Like no real good true crime person's want to be involved in a shit show, or something wild. We get some midgets and flamethrowers, some sideshow freaks would be awesome. I don't know how many people like sideshow shit, like Lizard Man, and I love that stuff. I mean, like, I went to what is it, Ripley's? I like that stuff. I don't know about y'all, but it's like sword swallowers and stuff like that. It's entertaining to me. I don't. Now used for Turtle Island Alien sensors. Okay. I was just seeing what you were posting there, Short Legs. But I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. It's getting late. And then y'all got me so off topic, right? I got myself off topic. It ain't y'all's fault. I love Ripley's, believe it or not. Call the cops, Con. You call the cops, Con. The hairy lady will be easy to find in 2025. There you go, right? So I'm dead serious. If y'all want to help me put something like this together, I need some real people that, maybe familiar with this or willing to grind it out with me to see if we can make this happen. And we got what? 6 months. 6 months to do it in. All right. If we do it early October, we got 6 months. That's to get the spot, to get us some good guests, to gather the funds to pay for all this shit. And then, of course, we'll make the money back with ticket sales and vendor booths. All right. And I think the key thing is we invite YouTubers and we keep the cost low for the YouTubers, because why charge like out the ass for people that are bringing you the audience, right? Like that's the thing about these other conventions. Like that booth was $1,200. Okay, so instead of somebody having to pay $1,200 to be there and their hotels, right? Give them the booth. Give them the booth. Hey, you ain't got to pay nothing to be here. Bring your advertisement, bring your brand, come to our convention and be a part of it. And then make the money for the venue off of ticket sales and vendors. Like if you want to come there and sell stuff like t-shirts, different things, then yeah, you got to pay for your table. But if you just want to come there and promote your YouTube brand, then don't charge them. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we necessarily don't got to have it in Virginia. We could do it somewhere else. But I figured Virginia would be the easiest for me because I'm already in Virginia. And Virginia is a tourist spot. I live in Virginia Beach, right? That's the fucking tourist spot. So, I mean, I would rather go to a convention at the beach, where there's restaurants and bars and things to do around, than, I don't know, Nashville wasn't bad. Colorado, I've never been to Colorado, so I don't know. Yeah, beach is good. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, we're already in a tourist spot. Why not have it where people want to visit anyway and give them a reason to visit? Because then you can come to the convention, you can go to the beach, you can see the scenes around here. The guy that played Freddy Krueger, what, lives here in my hometown in Tennessee. He does local speakings at other local theaters. Oh, Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. Florida, whoop whoop. Atlanta is affordable. I say we try to do the first one here. Is my thing, right? Because it would be, we don't have true crime convention. We don't have nothing like that. We have horror con and we have a bunch of horror conventions. We have Halloween stuff, but we don't have like YouTube conventions, and we don't have a mixture of it like all together where you can meet your favorite YouTubers, some of your favorite horror movies. So because then it becomes like a mixture of CrimeCon mixed with Comic-Con. And Comic-Con is huge. I mean, the Comic-Cons are like massive. So then it becomes a mixture of the two, and I think it would do good. Let's do it, TurtleCon. I mean, not TurtleCon. It needs to be something catchy and to do with YouTube. And then we put it all together where it's not limited to one little thing, but a little bit of everything. Like you have your true crime section, you have your whatever fucking section there is, you know, and everybody can be a part of it if you're part of YouTube. And at a certain level, though, we don't want this, you know, we want people that people know who they are, them channels, right? And try to do it for October. Several YouTubers have gone to TwitchCon before. Yeah, I believe that. Last vacation I went on was Jack Daniels. Loved it. I agree Virginia Beach would be good and easier for you to run around and plan it. That's what I'm thinking, because I know this area. I know the people. I know promoters here. So I would have help here if I go try to do it somewhere else. I mean, you could do it here 1 year, do it Myrtle Beach, South Carolina another year, Florida, just work it down the East Coast, you know, each year, you know, maybe New York, Jersey, Atlantic City, you know, because that's all in, you know, 6-7 hour striking distance. So keep it on the East Coast and East Coast YouTubeathon. I don't know. We'll fucking come up with something that looks cool and catchy and bright and colorful. And then, you know, of course, we have banners made. We'll sell T-shirts. So, you know, I do T-shirts anyway. So you can, when you come in and like, because CrimeCon, they had like a store. You can go in and buy all their CrimeCon stuff. So we'll do stuff like that. You know, you'll have a section where you can come in and that'll help pay for the venue and other things too, is the profits from T-shirt sales. Because usually people want a souvenir when they go places, right? I always get a souvenir. So we sell shirts, hats, different merchandise stuff that, you know, I make anyway. And with the logo and all that shit on it. And then that, you know, once you pay for the venue, we good, you know. You know, you have to pay to get out of New Jersey. Yeah, but so then, look, we put it together to get it off the ground. We do some crowdfunding, okay? We secure everything. We put it together and see how it works. So I'm serious. We can. It can be done. It can be something super cool. Can be done, and instead of this year promoting stuff with other people, let's all get together and promote something that is beneficial to all us YouTube creators, right? And I don't know if it's been done, but I don't think it's been done in this sector of YouTube, right? Some of the big YouTubers may do it, you know, but we just start reaching out and trying to get the biggest YouTube creators we can that have big followings. And if we get those, you know, them are the people that the people that people watch. And that's when people will start traveling to come. So you can't do it. I'm sure between the think tank here, we can come up with some cool stuff. All right. So we already know what everybody else is doing. We just got to make it better than that. And then, like I said, if the first one is small, that's not a big deal. Long as it, we grow it. And once we do the first one, we'll know what we can do. And, everything you learn from. The first one's going to be a little rough because it's rushed to do it, But the next one, as soon as we're done with the first one, and if it's a success, you start planning the next one then. So you got a whole year to plan it. And as far as getting the website built, we could have that up in a week, right? We start sharing the links, posting shit for people to go to the site, check it out, book your hotels, get your reservations. And we have 6 months to do it in. So I need a team. So if you want to volunteer, let me know. But I'm going to get out of here, guys. You be good. Dolly loves you. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to be doing giveaways every Saturday night. All you got to do to be entered in the giveaway is leave comments on my videos. I'm going to go through the videos for the week, and I'm going to pick a couple people. I'm going to give away shirts, hoodies, just different things that some of the new stuff that I've been making. I've been making some cool new merchandise. So you guys get in on that, especially if you're broke and can't afford a shirt or something. Definitely leave a comment. I ain't saying you're going to win, but you've got a better chance. So leave a comment on everything. It don't got to be nothing crazy. Just, hey, Dolly, or I'm number 100 on the like, or just something quick. Because all I'm going to do is randomly go through each week and pick a couple people, right? And give hoodies away, shirts. I'm about to order some hats, cups, thermoses. So we're going to be doing like the Stanley cups, and we got a bunch of shit we're going to be working on. So make sure you leave some comments. And like I said, hit me up on Facebook if you want to get involved with this with me. And like I said, and like we had to hire security and DJ. Like it's a process, but it can be done. All right. Where there's a will, there's a way. God loves you. See you guys later. Peace.